All right. Welcome back, everyone. We're diving deep today. You ready?
Ready when you are.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
So today we're tackling chemistry education. And I've got to say, these sources, they're pretty fascinating. They really get into why chemistry matters, like really matters for everyone, not just scientists.
Yeah, it's funny, right? We hear that chemistry is important all the time, but these sources, they don't just say it, they actually explain it. They dig deep into how foundational it is.
It's like, it's one thing to say, hey, chemistry is the central science, but it's another to actually show why.
Exactly. And they really nail that, especially the whole central science thing. They really break it down. And I think they have a good point.
Okay, so let's get into that then. Why?
Yeah.
Why do they call chemistry the central science?
Well, the way I see it, from what I'm reading here, it's like chemistry is that bridge. It connects all those hardcore sciences, like physics, with everything else, like biology and engineering.
Oh, interesting. So it's like the glue that holds it all together.
Yeah, exactly. Like, think about it. They give this cool example in one of the sources about renewable energy. Scientists are literally using chemistry, like their deep knowledge of reactions, to make solar panels way more efficient.
Wait, really?
Yeah, they're messing around with like the tiniest interactions between electrons to grab more of that sweet, sweet energy from the sun. It's pretty wild how something so tiny can have a massive impact on something like clean energy, right?
That's incredible. I mean, it makes sense. Like, I remember back in school learning about all the elements on that giant periodic table, but I've never really thought about how, like, manipulating those tiny particles could lead to something as big as, solving the energy crisis.
Right. It's not just about memorizing the elements, it's about understanding how they play with each other, how they react, and how we can like guide those reactions to make incredible stuff.
It's almost like learning a secret language or something.
Totally. And that brings us to another point. The sources hit hard. The skills, man. Studying chemistry doesn't just give you facts, it gives you these crazy useful skills.
I was going to bring that up because honestly, when I was reading through all these sources, that's what jumped out at me the most, the skills thing. I mean, connecting it to other fields, that's cool. But this idea that learning chemistry can make you a better thinker in general, that's huge.
Huge is right. It's all about that problem-solving mindset. In chemistry, you're always analyzing data, coming up with a hypothesis, testing it out. And guess what? Those are the exact same skills you need to tackle problems in like any part of life.
So it's not just for like people who want to be chemists. It's for everyone.
Exactly. Seriously, think about it. Have you ever had a tech issue? You got a troubleshooter, right? Or I don't know, you're reading a news story, trying to figure out if it's legit. You're evaluating, forming an opinion. That's all chemistry thinking.
So even if you don't end up working in a lab, wearing a lab coat, you're still using those skills like every day.
Every single day. And that's the beauty of it. It's like chemistry class gives you this mental toolkit, for tackling tough problems.
It's like they say, give a man a fish, he eats for a day. Teach a man to fish.
He eats for life.
Exactly.
And speaking of those real-world applications, the sources go pretty deep into how chemistry is like intertwined with fields like medicine and like saving the environment, right?
Yeah. Like we touched on the solar panels, but they go beyond that.
Way beyond. Like one source talks about how chemists are basically developing these targeted cancer therapies. They're using like their knowledge of polymers. By the way, those are those long chains of molecules.
Like the things that make up plastics.
Exactly. And they're using them to deliver medicine straight to the cancer cells, which means less of those nasty side effects.
It's like a microscopic little like magic bullet zapped in those cancer cells.
Pretty amazing, right? And then on the environment side, well, chemists are like the superheroes. They're creating these new materials to filter out pollutants from water.
So they're cleaning up our messes.
Exactly. And again, it all boils down to understanding the chemistry, the properties of these things, how they interact.
It's like it just keeps coming back to that, doesn't it? The more we understand about chemistry, the more we can actually do stuff, build stuff, create solutions.
You got it. And that right there is the real power of chemistry.
So everyone listening out there, even having a little bit of chemistry knowledge, a basic understanding, it's like it gives you a whole new perspective, like a new lens to see the world.
Totally. And it makes you wonder, right? With everything we talked about, all these big challenges like disease and climate change, what area of chemistry is going to be the key? Like what's going to unlock those solutions? That's something to think about, as you keep exploring this amazing world of chemistry.
That is a fantastic question.
Yeah.
And I think that's a great place for us to wrap up. We hope you enjoyed this deep dive and that you'll continue to explore the awesome world of chemistry.
Absolutely. Who knows? Maybe one of you listening will be the one to make that next big breakthrough.
That's right.